If you've ever looked at another woman who survived a narcissistic divorce and thought, how did she get through that? Or how is she smiling again? Or how did she rebuild her life? I want to tell you something. It wasn't because she got lucky. It wasn't because her narcissist was easier. And it wasn't because she didn't have hard days. Over the years, after coaching hundreds of women through high conflict divorce, I've noticed something. The women who come out the other side the strongest all have a few things in common, and none of them have anything to do with being stronger or smarter or tougher than anyone else. I'm Victoria McCooey, creator of She Breaks Free. My own divorce lasted 6 years, and today I help women navigate high conflict divorces with narcissistic partners so they can stop merely surviving the process and start rebuilding their lives. Today, I want to share 3 characteristics I see over and over again in the women who don't just survive narcissistic divorce, they actually grow because of it. Let's break this down into 3 things. First, what these women stop doing. Second, what they start doing instead. And finally, the biggest mindset shift that changes everything. Let's start with what they stop doing. The women who thrive stop believing that their healing depends on the narcissist changing. This is huge. Early in the divorce, almost everyone thinks if he would just be reasonable, if she would just stop lying, or if the court would finally see the truth. They're waiting for something outside of themselves to create peace. And I understand that. I did it too. For years, I believed that once my divorce ended, I'd finally be free. But eventually, I realized something. If my peace depends on another person changing, I'm giving that person control over my life. The women who thrive stop waiting. They begin reclaiming their peace because they realize they're waiting for something they can't control. Instead of trying to change the narcissist, they focus on changing the one person they actually do have control over, themselves. That's where freedom begins. One of the biggest things I help women understand is that healing doesn't begin when the court case ends. It begins when you stop making the narcissist the center of your emotional world. That shift changes everything. Now, let's talk about what they start doing. They stop reacting and start responding. That sounds simple, but it's incredibly difficult because when you've lived for years in survival mode, reacting feels automatic. But over time, the women who thrive begin asking different questions. Instead of, how do I make him stop? They ask, how do I protect my peace? Instead of, how do I prove that I'm right? They ask, what's the most strategic response? Instead of, how do I get the last word? They ask, does this even deserve my energy? Those are completely different questions, and they lead to completely different lives. One of my favorite moments with clients is when they start catching themselves. They'll tell me, normally, I would have spent the entire weekend upset about that email, but this time I didn't. Or, I almost sent a 5-paragraph text and then I deleted it. Or for the first time, I didn't let him ruin my day. Those moments might sound small, but they're enormous because that's what taking your power back actually looks like. Not one dramatic breakthrough, hundreds of small decisions, one calm response instead of a reactive one. One boundary instead of another explanation. One peaceful evening instead of another night spent replaying what the narcissist said. That's how lives change. Now, let's talk about the biggest mindset shift. The women who thrive stop asking, how do I win the divorce? And they start asking, who do I want to become because of this? I think that's one of the most powerful questions anyone can ask, because eventually the divorce ends. The court dates stop. The paperwork gets signed. but you still have to live the rest of your life. Who do you want to be? Someone who's bitter? Someone who's constantly looking over her shoulder? Or someone who's wiser, calmer, more confident, and deeply connected to herself? That's the transformation I see happen over and over again. This is one of the reasons I love coaching women through this process. Because yes, we talk about court, we talk about custody, we talk about strategy, but underneath all of that, we're rebuilding confidence. We're rebuilding self-trust. We're rebuilding the woman who slowly disappeared while she was trying to survive the marriage, helping her trust herself again, helping her stop second-guessing every decision, helping her believe that peace is actually possible. And honestly, watching that happen is one of the greatest privileges of my work. Here's what I wish someone had told me before my own divorce. The goal isn't simply to get through it. The goal is to become someone the narcissist no longer has the power to emotionally control. That's what freedom looks like. So if you take one thing from today's video, let it be this. The women who thrive after narcissistic divorce don't have easier cases. They make different choices. They protect their peace. They think strategically. They build credibility. They stop organizing their lives around the narcissist. And little by little, they become someone stronger than they ever imagined they could be. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me reach more women who need this information. Now, if today's message resonated with you, I'd encourage you to watch my video called Why Narcissists Lie So Convincingly and How the Truth Becomes Clear Over Time. It will help you understand why staying calm, building credibility, and refusing to react to every accusation are some of the most powerful things you can do during a high conflict divorce. And remember, you don't have to figure this out alone.